Hello, my name is StevenWhite from Data 605 with UMGC. Today we're going to be exploring the Nashville housing data set using IBM Cognos Analytics. This data set provides a rich picture of the Nashville real estate market, covering property transactions, valuations, and features. This the data set includes details like property addresses, sales prices, land value, building value, total value. And in short, it represents property transactions and valuations for the records for the city of Nashville, which would be incredibly useful for understanding housing markets, neighborhood development, and long-term property trends. From this data set, several problems and decisions can be supported. Buyers and investors can identify fair property values. City planners can track zoning and development patterns. Policymakers can evaluate tax districts and vacancy rates. Home buyers can look at average pricing for that respective area and look at the pricing over time. This data set contains a mixture of numerical and text data um, from certain data, such as the land value as an integer. Acreage we can see is set as a decimal, and other text values in this data set. In Cognos, I created several visualizations to look at some of the different patterns um, and to explore the data set further. First, um, I believe that the target data set, the the target field in this data set would be price. When you're looking at this information, the average user of the info will be looking at the various prices, comparing price points in different areas. Here, we're looking at the value over time for the various buildings. This isn't filtered by the different land uses, so I kept this one pretty simple. As you can see, but I did filter by year, looking from 2000 to 2017, the average value um, of the buildings of the properties, land, and buildings over that time frame. And as you can see, over time we have a trending upward of the valuation. Next, we're looking from the 10-year period from 2007 to 2016. Um, was able again to filter by year for those dates. We're looking at the sale prices compared to the building value, looking at averages. But for this, I specifically wanted to take a look at single family residencies. So we're looking at the various pricing points to compare what the building average is and as compared to the sale price. Um, Next, I wanted to take a look at the specific, like the bedrooms. How many bedrooms? Again, looking at condos, single family residences. Um, Looking at the average sale price um, based off of the number of bedrooms. Normally, as you can see, we would have the the normally the higher number of bedrooms, the higher the the prices, the average price, sales prices for that residence. Um, there are a couple outliers as, as we get from 7 to 10, 8 and 9 costs a little bit different. We could, but with the counts very low, um, there's other things that could have factored into the price. Next, I look from 2008 to 2017. Looking at the total value, including the land, uh, based off of the average sale price for that property. Again, filter this down to single family residences. Wanted to look at the specific subset of data for if I was a homeowner, that's the type of property I would be looking for. Um, so we can see here from 2008 till 2013, we have the sale price above the total value. Not sure if this coincides with the financial crisis during that time, but as we moved from 2014 to 2017, we started to get more value from our sales. My final visualization, um, if you're looking at a house, looking to buy a house, and you want to find, you like space, you may be concerned with acreage. So the actual heat map is based off of acreage. The darker the shade, the higher the average acreage is, and then the size is the average cost for that property. Um, Filter this down to condos, residential condos, and single family residences. So those are my visualizations. And as you can see, there are some outliers and missing data, some information that may be categorized um, differently or confusingly. Looking at the land use for this specific visualization, you have a condo and a residential condo. And so trying to figure out what differentiates between the two. Here we have a no value. So for that acreage, nothing was entered in for the acreage, but we do have a sales price. So one of the challenges of dealing with the outliers and missing data, because you'll need to filter or clean the data to have meaningful insights. Using the Cognos Assistant made the assisted with the data exploration process. Um, it makes things very simple. Um, for example, I asked, put in a query to show the average sale price by land use. So just looking at the data, you could see the average sale price for a duplex or one of the other, a mobile home or a different type of property. In summary, I enjoyed exploring the data using IBM Cognos Analytics, able to see various trends, understand how to format the data, create visualizations, and filter it to paint the picture or to display the information that I wanted to see. Thank you for your time.